time there was a girl who loved to read. Her mind and her eyes hungered for a world outside of her own. Her library did not have walls or floors. It didn't have shelves to hold her books up. Her treasure was kept in a chest, beneath an abandoned grain silo. She was the daughter of a farmer, and one day while out walking with the family's cows out to their grazing spot, she spotted it. It had been there forever, a grain silo that had been seen better days and no longer was in use since her father took over the farm from his father. So, as the herd carefully explored their field, she began exploring the silo. It was worn from years of neglect. Walls were crumbling in on itself, and the roof was half missing. At the base there lay a big hole, large enough for her to crawl through. Being quite the adventurous child she was, she picked her way through the opening until at last she stood inside the silo. There she found something she was not expecting. A large wooden chest, aged and worn like the building around it, but not so much so that the promise of treasure had been washed away. Carefully she lifted the top and peeked inside. There in the chest lay something greater than gems or jewels or treasure. In the chest, inside the abandoned silo, was books. Laying the top against the ground, she reached inside and pulled one out. The book itself was not worn from the elements, like the building or the chest. But as she paged through it, she could tell it had been worn by love and use. Flipping the pages over in her hand, she turned to the cover and in big red letters she read out loud, Treasure Island. The girl often returned to her silo, poring through the pages as she laid on the grass or leaned against a tree as the herd grazed nearby. She would later come to learn that the chest had likely been placed there by her grandfather, a man who also loved to read. As the years passed, her library outgrew the chest in the silo, but she never outgrew her love of reading.